Bedtime Bus.
Welcome, young listeners. Join us for the story of Jack and the Golden Hen, an adventure filled with magic, giants, and a very special feathered friend. Get cozy and let's begin. Once upon a time, in a small cottage at the edge of a village, lived a boy named Jack and his loving mother. They had fallen on very hard times, and their little home felt empty without the sound of coins jingling in their pockets. All they had left in the world was their gentle cow, Daisy, who had been with their family for many years. She was their last hope for getting the money they desperately needed to buy food and keep their little home. With tears in her eyes, Jack's mother made the hardest choice of all. She told Jack he must take Daisy to the market in town and sell her for money so they could buy bread and milk to eat. So Jack took Daisy's rope in his hand and began walking slowly down the dusty path toward town. His heart felt heavy, but he knew he had to be brave for his mother and find a good buyer for their faithful cow. Halfway to market, Jack met a strange old man with twinkling eyes and a long white beard. The man smiled kindly and asked where Jack was going with such a fine cow on this beautiful morning. Jack told the old man about his family's troubles and how he needed to sell Daisy at the market for money. The stranger nodded wisely and said he might have something even better than gold coins to offer. From his deep pockets, the mysterious stranger pulled out 5 ordinary-looking beans. But he whispered to Jack that these were no ordinary beans at all. They were magical beans that would bring incredible fortune beyond imagination. Jack's curiosity got the better of him. The thought of magical fortune was too exciting to resist, so he agreed to trade Gentle Daisy for the 5 mysterious beans, believing he was making the best choice for his family. Jack hurried home with the magical beans clutched tightly in his hand, his heart pounding with excitement. He couldn't wait to tell his mother about the wonderful fortune that would soon be theirs thanks to his clever trade. But when Jack proudly showed his mother the 5 beans and explained the trade, her face turned red with anger and disappointment. She couldn't believe Jack had given away their precious cow for ordinary-looking beans instead of money for food. In her anger and despair, Jack's mother grabbed the beans from his hands and threw them right out the window into their little garden. Then she sent Jack to bed without supper, her heart heavy with worry about their future. That very night, while Jack and his mother slept fitfully in their beds, something extraordinary was happening in their little garden. The 5 magical beans were already beginning their incredible transformation under the starlight. When Jack woke up the next morning and looked out his bedroom window, he gasped in amazement. Growing from their garden was an enormous green beanstalk that stretched up, up, up into the clouds until he couldn't see the top. Jack's curiosity was stronger than his fear. He quietly slipped out of the cottage before his mother woke up, walked up to the enormous beanstalk, and began climbing up the thick, sturdy stem toward the unknown world above. Jack climbed for what felt like hours, past fluffy white clouds and into a completely different land above the sky. When he finally reached the top, he found himself in a strange realm where everything seemed much, much bigger than normal. In the distance, Jack saw the most incredible sight, a gigantic stone castle with towers that seemed to touch the sky. Everything about it was enormous, from the massive doors to the huge windows that sparkled in the strange light above the clouds. Being very careful and quiet, Jack crept closer to the giant castle. The front door was so huge that he could easily walk underneath it, and he slipped inside when no one was looking, his heart pounding with nervous excitement. Inside the castle, Jack met the giant's wife, who was enormous but had kind, gentle eyes. When she saw the tiny boy, she gasped in surprise, but then whispered warnings about her husband and quickly hid Jack in a large cupboard. Suddenly, heavy footsteps shook the entire castle, and the giant burst through the door, bellowing in his deep, booming voice, "Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman!" Jack trembled in his hiding place, holding his breath. The giant's wife served him an enormous dinner, and Jack watched from his hiding spot as the giant ate and drank until he became drowsy. Soon, the giant's head nodded, and he fell fast asleep at the massive table, snoring loudly. While the giant slept, Jack crept out and explored the castle. In one room, he discovered the most amazing sight, a beautiful golden hen that laid eggs made of pure, glittering gold. Jack knew this could solve all his family's problems. Moving as quietly as a mouse, Jack gently picked up the golden hen, who seemed surprisingly calm in his arms. He tiptoed past the sleeping giant and hurried out of the castle toward the beanstalk, his heart racing with excitement and fear. Suddenly, a thunderous roar echoed through the castle. The giant had awakened and discovered that his golden hen was gone. "Fee, fi, fo, fum," he bellowed, his voice shaking the very walls. "I smell the blood of an Englishman." The giant's rage was unstoppable. He chased Jack through the castle, each step shaking the ground like an earthquake. Jack ran for his life, holding the golden hen close, knowing that if the giant caught him, it would mean the end. Jack climbed down the beanstalk as fast as he could, holding the golden hen tightly. But he could hear the giant coming after him, each step shaking the enormous plant. Jack reached the ground and quickly called out, "Mother, the giant is coming. We must cut it down." His mother handed him an axe, and together they chopped and chopped at the base of the enormous plant. The beanstalk began to sway. With one final chop, the beanstalk began to fall. The giant screamed as he tumbled from the sky, crashing to the ground far below. The earth shook with the impact, and then silence. The giant would never threaten Jack and his mother again. When Jack showed his mother the golden hen and the precious eggs it laid, she could hardly believe her eyes. Their money troubles were over forever, and she hugged Jack tightly, finally understanding that the magical beans had brought them incredible good fortune. From that day forward, Jack and his mother never worried about money again. The golden hen became part of their family, laying beautiful golden eggs whenever they needed them. Jack had learned that sometimes the most ordinary-looking things can hold the most extraordinary magic, and that curiosity and courage can lead to wonderful adventures. Thank you for watching today's story. Remember to like, subscribe, and join us next time on the Storytime Bus for another magical adventure.